RT Farm not so smart truck. But first, our captive audience. y'all are crazy. All right, so check this out. This truck has had everything in it. It had the 3 horsepower Predator. It had a drill running it. It had a Predator 224. It had an 18 horsepower Duramax. It's had a Predator 670. It's had giant tires on the back. It's been all over. But this is the first time it's been belt drive. Huh, you like that? Great big old pulley down below. Look at the size of that thing.
Look at the size of that thing.
So, between this giant pulley and this one right here, by the way, I just drove it 4 passes up and down the road, and I can put my hand on the clutch. And that is because it's geared about 5 to 1. So if you do the math, that's 16 inches. This is 3 point something or other, about 5 to 1 gear ratio. And it's back to a Predator 212. Why is that, Chris? Well, I'll tell you why. I'd really like to have an 18 horsepower Duramax in it, but both of the Duramax that I have, both of the 440s, are busy. One's on the tractor, and the other one is in the MG. A very underrated video, I might add. The MG is awesome. So, I'd like another 440, but I just spent $1,500.
But I just spent $1,500
on these tires right here, and that kind of hurt. So this is going to have a Predator 212 in it for a little while, but yeah, check this out, the not so smart truck. So the front end is like it's been before, but if you come around, let's get a good shot of it. How ridiculous. I'm thinking about building a little bed for it. What do y'all think? And putting the trailer hitch back on it. So let me tell you what I did back here. So you saw the previous truck. Well, you probably didn't. You probably seen it last with the big tires, because anyway, I had a carrier on the back with all the frames still here, and I had this truck doing wheelies not too long ago with a counterweight. It was still pretty interesting, I thought. Not many people watched the video. No big deal. All right, so what I did is this thing had a 2-piece drive shaft, and I cut the drive shaft. I basically cut the center U-joint out and slid the 2 shafts together. I put some spacers in there so it wouldn't wobble, and then welded up the end. So that is basically one section of the 2-piece drive shaft. And I got it so close I had to cut the cab corners out. But you know what? That is what I love about a project truck. You can cut and whittle on it, and it's no big deal. Hey, we're trying to do a video over here. Okay, well, that was a slight intermission in the video. All right, check it out. So, anyway, I don't know why I wanted to make the truck shorter, but I did. Now, look, I'm going to be straight with you. When you make a hardtail rear end like that, it kills your traction. And I used to get stuck over here in the truck back when it had rear suspension. So you see this picture. Well, there's the side-by-side. But you see that I brought the side-by-side to... and yeah, look, I get over here and I get to carrying around. Sometimes I do something dumb. But we're going to drive it a little. Now, it's not very fast. I'm guessing like 12 miles an hour. But the clutch doesn't get hot, and it's got plenty of power on the low side. If I want to put a trailer hitch on it, it's not going to do much pulling around here. Oh, I do have a traction fix. So you see these bullet hole wheels? You can run a small chain through here on one side and the other side, and then put turnbuckles on it. And look, if you don't have wheels that you care a tremendous amount about, that will work. You know, or you can put traditional chains around it. But I'm thinking about putting a couple of chains on each side with a turnbuckle, and that will help my traction problems dramatically. I have softened up the front end. The front end was extremely stiff, and it wouldn't flex, and sometimes you need the front end to drop a little to get one of these tires back on the ground. But, or I could weld up the rear end, but I haven't done that yet because I don't know where this truck's going to end up. And I may I got a project I want to build, but it's going to cost a fortune. But if I use this rear end for that project, I'll have to break the wheels individually. So that's why I've never welded up the axle. All right, it's enough talking. Let's do some driving. Hey, I haven't had this in the pasture yet. I don't know how much fun it can be, but we about to find out. Hey y'all, just keep in mind during the making of this video, the throttle cable slipped and the throttle wasn't pulling wide open. So we didn't get the fullest potential out of the truck, and I'm not sure when it happened. Needs more power to be tremendously fun, but what I've always said about building one of these versus buying a high dollar side-by-side, this will get you around on the farm to check fences and whatnot. If I didn't have a side-by-side, this would be a great option. I mean, maybe not with a hardtail, maybe geared like this, but with a full-size bed, you could do a lot around the farm. And if you could happen to find a truck that was four-wheel drive, you could sure get a lot done. All right, y'all, we're going to take it back to the road, and we're going to see what the real top speed is. I was guessing about 12. It's looking like 14 is going to be maxing out. But keep in mind, at 14, it's not getting the clutch hot at all, which is a good thing. Alright y'all, so it gets around the flat of the pasture okay? But what happens if we get on some trails and whatnot? Not stuck yet. Hop in. Wow. Y'all know what? My Tahoe won't come back where this thing's sitting. Now, we ain't got out yet, granted, but we're going over some soft ground, but this thing is light. I bet it only weighs 1,200 pounds. Let's see if we can turn around. Man, we're chugging right along. I frankly can't believe it. Any other two-wheel drive vehicle I've ever had would have already been stuck. And I don't know why this one hasn't got stuck yet, other than it is really light. Well, there you have it, y'all. The Key Farm Not So Smart truck powered by a Predator 212. Y'all, I can't believe that it went back through the trails and we didn't have to pull it out. I'm kind of perplexed by it. I'm still putting chains on the back, and it should do even better. Hey, I'm Chris from Key Farm. Love God, love people, and watch some of these other amazing videos.